What is up, YouTube? It's your boy, Nati.
It's your boy, Mente.
Back at it again with another banger.
Yeah, alright, guys.
Let them know what we got.
Alright, we're gonna watch another infographic show episode. It's gonna be average American versus average European.
I'll take my Americans all day.
How do you compare?
Me?
Yeah.
Top 1%.
Oh, American? No, you're not.
I'm
Nobody
not.
capped.
I'm capping. I'm capping.
Alright, guys, let's get into it. But first,
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe,
yeah. Alright,
tell
guys.
a friend, to tell a friend,
Alright,
to tell a friend.
alright.
man.
Alright, let's get into the video.
All right.
The United States of America was officially formed on July 4th, 1776, when 13 states declared their independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain. This was centuries after this region, which was part of what was then called the New World, was officially discovered by Italian explorer Christopher Columbus. In the centuries that followed, European settlers would arrive in droves, with many of the first expeditions arriving from Spain, but later from France, Germany, Holland, Scotland, and England, among other European nations claiming some slice of the American pie. Today, many US citizens have European ancestry, while not necessarily sharing much in common with their long-lost kin. Thomas Jefferson may have once famously written in the Declaration of Independence that all men are created equal, but we thought it would be fun to see how equal, in some respects at least, the modern US citizen is now with the modern EU citizen in this episode of the infographic show, The Average American versus the Average European. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notification squad.
Really?
First of all, to give us some idea of how much European there is flowing through the American bloodstream, let's take a look at America's largest European ancestry groups. According to the Census Bureau, approximately 49 million Americans said they had German ancestry, 36 million Irish
that's a lot of
ancestry,
Germans.
27 million English ancestry, 18 million
Yeah, I think that was a thing back in like World War I and World War II. There was more Germans than English in America.
Really?
So like I think especially in World War One, there was like America didn't know what side it was on until like it kind of the Germans started doing some kind of shady
Off
stuff.
the wall shit?
Yeah.
Italian
Hi,
ancestry,
Hitler.
10 million Polish ancestry,
you're gonna have
9
to
million
blur-
French,
blur that out.
6 million Scottish, 5 million
That's my
Scotch
guy.
Irish,
No, you're
5
gonna have to
million
actually
Dutch,
blur that out.
4 million Swedish, and 3 million Russian. Other large groups include Welsh, Czech, Hungarian, Portuguese, Danish, and Greek, while many people were also described as mixed ancestry.
You just have like a slight bleed.
Nah, I got you. I
Okay.
got you.
With this Euro connection in mind, how much does the average
Guys.
American have in common with the average EU citizen? Let's start with some basics. The median age, meaning that half the population is younger and half the population is older, is 42.7 in the EU and 37.9 in the US. Life expectancy in the EU is 82.4 years for women and 76.6 years for men.
Is lower.
American women on average will live to 81.94 years and American men 77.11. When it comes to
Oh, let's
making
go.
babies, American women are slightly more active, with the average number of births per woman being 1.84 and European women giving birth to an average of 1.58
I think it's because we got more
children.
immigrants.
Get your
Just to
numbers
clarify
up.
here,
think
this
it's
doesn't
got
mean
more
women are
immigrants.
miraculously bearing
Yeah.
partial 0.58
Maybe.
humans, rather it's just an average taken from the female population and the number of births. Let's now look at some physical attributes. The average height for an American man is 5 foot 9.5 inches, while collective data for the entire EU is hard to come by. Europe, however, has some of the tallest people in the world, with the Dutch coming in at an average height of 6 feet for men. Dutch women are also at the top with an average height of nearly 5 foot 7 inches, whereas American women on average are 5 foot 4 inches tall. In fact, most member countries of the EU have a greater average height than that of Americans. That cannot be said about body weight, with America regularly coming in the top 5 countries
yeah.
in the world for average weight. The average male in the US weighs 194.7 pounds and the average female 165 pounds.
Damn.
This is the first time I'll be happy to say I'm below average.
Hey.
The UK has the heaviest people in Europe at 185 pounds for men and 152 pounds for women.
I'm
This is
still
about the
below
same as the
average.
land of giants, Holland, even though
right
the
there,
average
right?
UK
I'm
nationals
like
are much
184.
shorter.
Hey.
Now that we've
I'm
looked
like
at
10 under
mortality
that.
and the body, let's delve into money matters. Americans are generally thought to be a hardworking bunch of people, culturally
Muscles?
ambitious, and with a penchant for wanting to come first. This might be reflected by the fact that the USA has the most
not here right
billionaires
now.
in the entire world at 565, one of whom, Microsoft's co-founder Bill Gates, being the richest of them all with a fortune of
Wait,
around
there's 565
$87 billion.
billionaires?
By comparison, being tied for wanting to come first. This might be reflected by the fact that the USA has the most billionaires in the entire world at 565.
Is that true?
We're heavyweights, stock market.
Hey, come on.
Yeah,
Wait, there's that many billionaires though?
Yeah, that's not that many.
I mean,
There's like
kinda,
7 billion people.
right?
Yeah, so a couple of them just scoop
But
up
they're
all
all
the
in
money.
America though.
Not all the billionaires. There's more billion. I think there's
565.
I think there's
in
more
America.
billionaires in China than there are in America. No, there's more millionaires in China than there are
Yeah.
in America. I
But
don't-
bro, a billion? That's a lot.
Not really.
A billion's not a lot.
All you need
That's
is
999,999,999.
like if Elon Musk
plus
wanted
one.
to share it, there could be 300 more billionaires right
I'm
there.
sure there would be.
One of whom, Microsoft's co-founder Bill Gates, being the richest of them all with a fortune of around $87 billion. By comparison,
definitely
EU
outdated.
is home to 489
Yeah, this is
billionaires,
outdated.
with the
For
richest
sure.
being Spanish business magnate Amancio Ortega, who is worth around $85.8 billion. But what about the average Joe among us? According to polls, the median gross wage for workers in the US per household was $43,585 per year, which is the 6th highest in the world. The highest median gross wage in the world per household was Luxembourg at $52,493 per year, with 2 other EU nations also above the US in Sweden and Denmark. In terms of income tax paid, the US is below many EU member countries. The average income tax paid in the US is 22.7% of earnings, with the highest country in the world being EU member Belgium at a
damn.
whopping 42.8%. How does this affect the quality of life? Standard of living is a difficult thing to judge, and wherever you look, lists will differ. For example, the USA's gross national income, the spending power of the individual, is only behind the EU country of Luxembourg. Standard of living is another matter. Again, lists differ, but almost always the best standard of living top 10 countries is dominated by EU countries and other European nations, with Canada, New Zealand, and Australia also in the run.
I'll say Canada has a great quality of life outside of like the
I've been hearing a
inner
lot of
cities
stuff.
of like Toronto and stuff, because I feel like it's nice. I mean, there's like some nice places like Montreal, like in Quebec, like cost of living is pretty low, but if you're living in the cities of Canada, like I hear there's like a lot of depression.
Really?
Yeah, like
Who told you that?
Canadians.
I thought it was pretty nice until they started like freezing people's bank accounts and stuff recently. You heard about that?
Yeah, there's a dictator right now trying
Yeah.
to seize power in Canada.
It's a monarchy over there, right?
Yeah,
Where they got a king
Canada.
and a queen.
Yeah, Canada's going back.
Canada.
Canadian. Yeah, Justin Trudeau's the modern day Hitler, I guess.
Nah, that's crazy.
That's an exaggeration, but yeah.
Nah.
Sad world.
Running. EU countries also ranked highly on the World Happiness Report 2017, with 5 EU member states being in front of 14th placed America. Many of these countries also rank highly regarding a very expensive cost of living, which may seem confusing given they are reportedly so happy. Some factors may help explain this. The highest healthcare costs in the world go to, you guessed it, the United States. Americans also work very hard for a highly developed country. It's stated that the USA is in 13th place in terms of working the most hours, and while some EU members are above the US, there are poorer EU members that rank low on standard of living and happiness indexes. Taking paid annual leave into account, the EU states by law that each worker should have at least 4 weeks of paid vacation, while there is no such law in the US and the decision is left to the employer.
Damn.
The average is around 10 days per year in the US, far lower than in the EU. The average paid vacation time in the US after 20 years service at one company is 20 days. Many EU countries also have more or the same
After 20
public
years, you get
holidays
20
as
days
Americans
off?
enjoy. The US is also a fairly
crazy.
expensive place to receive a university education, with a report in 2015 stating that the average student debt in America was $29,000. Still, this was much lower than England, whose students will
I think
almost double that amount.
56.
I think student debt is mostly it's not because of college strain. I think it's just people make stupid school choices.
I agree.
It's just stay in state if you can't afford the private school.
Facts.
Why, if you live in Georgia, why would you fly out to New York for education? It's not like I tried to do
Experience
that.
the New York life, dude. What do you mean?
No. Like for me, like I ended up staying in like Georgia to do my college,
Yeah.
but I wanted to go to New York for school. I wanted to go everywhere actually,
Mm-hmm.
but I had parents tell me I was being an idiot. Yeah, we need
Yeah.
better parents.
They will do that. I mean, honestly, bro, like, if you really, really don't know what you want to study anyway, you shouldn't be going to college in the first place.
Or at the very least, go to a community school.
Yeah. Community college where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the first 2 years, it don't even matter.
Facts.
Out after graduation.
Foolishness.
EU countries such as France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Belgium, and the Czech Republic have very small tuition fees, while in Denmark, Sweden, and Finland, university is free. The US, however, has a lower household debt to GDP than many Euro nations, including big borrowers Denmark, the
speak up?
Netherlands, Britain, and Sweden. A 2017 report puts the USA in 10th place for household debt to GDP. So, what do these countries get for their money? Well, Americans enjoy living in much bigger houses on average than any country in the EU, with the average house size being around 2,000 square feet, second only to Australia, according to a 2015 report. Denmark has the biggest houses in the EU at around an average of 1,500 square feet per house, while the UK is only around 800 square feet on average. Americans also
the
have
music
more
in the
motor
background?
vehicles per person, being the third biggest vehicle owners in the world, according to a 2014 report. With 797 vehicles per 1,000 people, excluding two-wheelers, only Luxembourg comes close to the US, and most EU countries are far behind. Where else does the money go? Well, quite a lot on entertaining oneself. Whether drowning tears or living la vida loca, a lot of money earned is spent on alcohol. The Europeans are easily the world's most formidable drinkers, with Eastern Europe topping
got
the charts
Germany.
of alcohol
They
consumption
got
per
Russia.
capita in the world,
And Russia.
almost all EU countries
I feel
drinking
like
more than the
Ireland,
USA,
they be
except
going
for
hard.
Italy and Sweden. Eastern Europe is also the
Look, they got a ginger right there. I know he's from Ireland.
Out of Ireland, Germany, and Russia, who do
Who's the
you,
heaviest drinker?
Yeah.
Russia.
I think it's Germans.
You think so?
I'm
don't
sure.
know.
Well, if we can find a chart, we'll put it right here.
Yeah.
We'll figure out who won. I think it's me.
Nah, bro. The vodka.
So
be
you're
going
Russia?
crazy. Yeah, Russia.
I'm Germany.
But I
the
mean,
cheapest
Ireland
place
up
to
there
drink,
too. I
with
can't lie.
Slovakia and the Czech Republic selling beers at an average of $1.50 from bar to supermarket, compared to a US average of more than double that. Finally, let's talk about love. In many EU countries, marriage rates have fallen dramatically, but this has to some extent become a global phenomenon. The average age of men and women in the US getting married is 29 and 27 respectively, which is considerably lower than just about all countries in the EU, whose couples often wait until well after 30. In the US in 2015, a report states that 6.8 per 1,000 people tied the knot, which was considerably higher than most European countries, with the EU average at
that's still pretty
4.5
low.
in 2015.
Yeah.
The divorce rate that year in the EU was 2.0, almost half of the marriage rate. The US had a similar rate of marriage to divorce at 3.6. If not marrying, people haven't stopped sleeping with each other, but the Europeans, according to a survey by Durex, are doing it a lot more. The survey stated that the most sexually satisfied countries in the EU were Spain, Italy, Greece, the Netherlands, and Germany, with the USA data showing a low rate of satisfaction compared to most EU countries. As for first-timers, only the EU countries of Britain, Austria, Germany, and Czech Republic have a younger age in which people lose their virginity, with the USA being a fraction higher than those countries.
The
at
second
age
you turn legal.
18.4.
I know.
On the topic of love, we come to the end of today's comparison.
How you even track that? You just gotta ask people.
Once you survey, I bet you there's a lot of guys that underreported it and a lot of girls that overreported it.
Happen? Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, guys. All right, let us know what you think. Leave a comment.
Yep. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
All right, guys.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.